I was hoping it was just going to be the fin loop handle, but it's not. That doesn't turn. I've got a new metal handle. That's not doing it. I even tried turning it with a set of grips. That's not doing it. Another day, another power flush. So got my good friend V here. He's fitted this ECA boiler. Nice install. It's been a bit of a change of plan because he had all the pipes running up the back wall there, and then they decided to box it out. So he's had to make some adjustments to suit obviously the wall coming out. He's left me 2 flushing points here. Got the magnet clean. He's left lever valves everywhere, so everything's accessible. Everything's workable. I'm going to be wiring up the stat as well. There isn't any power here at the moment because, as you can see, the whole house is being redone. So I'm going to be just putting that on an extension lead for now just to test it. Got the power flush machine here all set up. I've been sent out these chemicals from Radiant. We've got the inhibitor and we've got the centering cleaner. So I'm going to be giving them a try today. The pipe work is all new. He's done all brand new pipe work, all new radiators. I'm not expecting it to be a dirty flush. How many rads?
About 10 rads.
About 10 rads we've got. Literally just come here to let me in. He's going to shoot off to another job and I'm going to crack on with the power flush. Let's get the power flush set up, get it all hot, warmed up and all that stuff, and then start flushing and see how, like I said, I'm not expecting anything bad. I'm not expecting anything dirty. So let's see what we get out of it. V, see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Right, power flush machine is almost up to temperature. I'm just going to wait for that light to turn red. Got the magnet cleanse magnets connected, and on the boiler side I've used the connection that V's left me there, and I've gone on the magnet clean connection there, so that's going to go straight through there. Lever valves all open. Yep, that's all fine. Got a washing machine connection literally just here. Pressure here is amazing. I was literally filling that up and the hose popped out. You can see I've got a bit of water here on the side because the hose literally went poof. So I literally had to turn it off quickly, but not too much problems. Like I said, I'm going to be trying out this Radiant centering cleaner and inhibitor, so that's in there at the moment. I've got to wire up the EPH stat for V as well. And yeah, there's 10 radiators. It's not that, well, it's a brand new system, so let's see how dirty it is. Let's get the flush going. So whilst I'm power flushing, I'm also wiring up the EPH stat here. So the way I normally wire these up is put a back box behind it. Got my boiler, that's my boiler power. That's my switch live going back to the boiler because this boiler works on low voltage. And then down here, that cable there, that's my mains power coming from, well, what will be the spur eventually. So I do all my connections in the back box. So all my lives, earths and neutrals all way go together in there. Feed them through the back box there. Obviously it's upside down at the moment. Oh, next rad. I'll go and change rads in a minute. And that will go back on there. And then inside here, literally just feed the cable through. And that just goes literally into the 2 low voltage terminals there. So that way everything's nice and neat on there. All you're going to have there is the EPH receiver sitting on the pattress there, and everything is basically just fed in behind there. Power flush wise, it's not too bad. So I think I'm on radiator number 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm 5 radiators. The next one I'm going to do is radiator number 5, so then I've got another 5 more left to do. So I'm going to carry on isolating them, clean them all one by one, then we'll start dumping, and in the meantime I'll get this all wired up so we're ready to. I'm going to put a 3-pin plug on it just to test it so I can commission the boiler, the FGA readings, gas rating and everything, make sure all that's okay. And then when they come and put the spur on, then the sparks can just wire that straight to the spur afterwards. Right, I'm going to show you why it's so important to flush even a new install. And remember, we've got brand new pipework, brand new radiators everywhere here, but this is why it's so important. Have a look at the color of that pipe. Pretty clear. Right, let's shut this one down. Okay, and then let's open up this one. Right, let's go and check the colour of that hose. Set my timer as well for 5 minutes on that radiator. Right, see that colour changing? Look at that. It's gone black. And also, I don't need that there right now anyway. As you can see, it's picked up a fair bit of dirt. And that's why it's important to flush even a new system. It doesn't have to be a power flush. I reckon could get away with a cold flush or mains flush. I always like to power flush, but this is the reason why you should power flush even on new system, new pipe work. Also in the meantime, that's all done. So stat's been wired into there, put a plug on the end of that, so that once they've finished putting the fuse spare on, they can undo that and then put it into there. That's just so I can put it into extension lead temporarily just to test it and get my readings for the boiler. See? Plumber, gas engineer, sparks. It's easy. Electrical work. Get some cables, chuck it in some terminals, put some plugs on. Where you go? I even cleared up, look. Just left a little bit there. Right, what do we reckon? New system, new rads, everything fresh. Let's have a look. You can usually tell by the weight before I even take it out. Doesn't feel too bad. No, it's not too bad at all actually. I genuinely expected worse because of how much the colour change was. I mean, I'll show you what that's the colour of the water. So it's quite brown and murky, but there's not actually that much magnetite in the system. But it just goes to show that it's still important to flush even a brand new system, because that over time is obviously going to build up, because there's no inhibitor in the system yet either. So that would eventually corroded more and more away. And then there was a filter on the system already, but you remember the last power flush video I'd done where the boiler just got choked up. Get it flushed before anything circulates to the boiler. This way we've done what we can, done all the preventive measure. There's inhibitor in the system after this, and then there's less chance of any problems happening with the boiler itself. So let's get these magnets cleaned off and start dumping. Okay, so we're dumping. Luckily, I've got a drain just out here. Now, I've been told this is a combined grey water and rainwater gully because the kitchen sink as well terminates into there. So I'm only going by what I've been told, so don't shoot me. But yeah, look at the colour of that water. Even though that's not necessarily magnetic, it's still very, very dirty. So just need to get that, let that clear up. Luckily, oh, beautiful day. It's the water pressure is really good. Like I said, when I first put it on, it just flew out, but I've got it set up now so that it shouldn't fly out. And I've got a good dump and fill rate as well, so that should be okay. So now just gotta let it all run, go through all the radiators, let them all get clear, and then we're done. Oh yeah, add inhibitor in, and then I can do all my final commissioning bits and everything, test the boiler. When I say commissioning, I'm gonna do the 26.9 checks. My friend who's installed the boiler, he's gonna do all the proper commissioning at the end, but I said to him while I'm here, to save him having to do all that again, I'm happy to do that for him. And then he can sign it off afterwards, make sure he's happy with everything once he's had his on test on it as well. But I said I'll just do it while I'm here. So yeah, let's just wait for all this to run clear, and then we should be all done. So this is the last radiator that we're cleaning out. See that? It's crystal clear. Let's check with the turbidity tube. Don't think I've had a clearer X marks the spot than that. So everything's been flushed, 10 radiators are done. I'm going to turn the cold feed off to the machine now. So I've had a really good flow rate here as well, so I've not had to worry about the machine filling. So let's just turn that off. Let the rest of that dump out. Check the magnets again, give them one last clean, pack this up. I've wired up the plug on there, so I'll just pop that onto the extension lead just to test it. Do my 26.9 checks on the boiler. And then I think that's it for this job. I've got another breakdown to do after this. Depending on the length of this video, it might be after this bit or it might be on the next video. We'll see. And then I've got to finish up a little bit early today because I've got to pick up Aaron from nursery. No, sorry, the parents are going to drop him off a little bit earlier. So, right, machine sounds like it's about to empty. Let me focus on that, get this all tidied up, and then see you once we've finished up a bit. Right, filter's back on. Power flush machine is all tidied away. Plugs on. That's right, you can carry on, mate. You can carry on talking, man. It's fine.
Cool.
Nah, it's all good, man. We're all working here. Right, let's just top up the pressure a bit. So that's on. And the ECA boilers, the first 2 minutes they go through an air purge, which is good. So I don't have to go through any purge function. All the radiators have been bled. So let's get that pressure up just a bit. Let that do its air purge. I've done the tightness test. Tightness test is fine. Meter's literally just in there. So working pressure should be fine. I'm going to let it go through its purge process. Working pressure at the gas valve. I think V forgot to put in a test point underneath. So not too much of a problem. We'll test it at the gas valve and then I'll do my flue gas analyzer checks and hopefully it should all be fine. Just gonna have a little tidy up, whatever else that needs to go back into the van in the meantime. And then, yeah, just finishing bits and we should be out of here very shortly. Let's finish purging. Now, I haven't set up the EPH stat yet because V's gonna set that up later on, wherever the customer wants it. So let's just pop that on manual. Should get heating demand on here. If I've wired it up correctly, yep. Radiator symbol's flashing. Gas is on, but it's probably gonna have to purge out a couple of times. Yeah, it's trying to fire up. So let that fire up and then put it into maximum rate, gas rate it, check my working pressure, do my flue gas analysis, and then send all the details to V. So there we go, flame is on, boiler's all working. I've tested it, I've done my 26.9 checks on it, done my flue gas analysis, gas rated it, working pressure, everything's spot on. Now I'm going to turn the power off because there's no one here and add the inhibitor into the system. Going to be using the radiant stuff. And then that's it, I'm done. Pack up and off to the next job. Right, this is the next job. So we've got a Valent, which I was hoping it was just going to be a thin loop handle, but it's not. That doesn't turn. I've got a new metal handle. That's not doing it. I even tried turning with a set of grips. That's not doing it. Luckily the cold side is right, so that does turn, but the handle's chewed up. So I've got some spare handles. I've run out of metal handles, but I've got some plastic handles, so I'm going to swap those over. And luckily, van stock, I've got a new flow valve, so we'll get that fitted. So I'm going to swap out the complete valve down there. Pop the new one on. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt, or whatever your aunt's name is. Let's get this done. Vessel's been drained out. Luckily the boiler is the highest point because I'm working in a flat, so I haven't got anything above me. So in that respect, it shouldn't be too bad to change this valve because obviously I've got to crack the heating side as well as the boiler side. Now it's going to be a bit tricky to film this because I don't know if I can get the right camera angle, because my tripod is too tall to sit under this space. I might flip it upside down and tilt it or something. I'll see what I can do. If not, then the next video you're going to see is basically just me showing you the new valve in there and the old valve sitting out here somewhere. Okay, so new flow valve is on. Yeah, this drain off shouldn't be open on it, so let's open that back up. Return cells already open. Let's top up some pressure. Yeah, that's enough. Leave that on test for a few minutes. So I'll just run this through. Doing one hand. Come on. There we go. Alright, let's P0 that. Cool. Let that do its thing. Purge out. I'll have a little tidy up. Where's the old one? Yeah, so that's the old valve. That was completely seized there. So it's got a new. Let me open up the AAV. That will help. Yeah, that was all seized up. That's sorted now. We can top up some pressure and make sure that they get heat and hot water again. Happy days. Let's top that up a little bit more. There we go, that's better. Cool, so that's done. Let it purge out, make sure it's all working, and we're out of here.